Hello! So this was my first time in Liverpool. It was a collaboration between Leeds and Manchester, but we're setting up a group there. This was a really good day. I recorded 15 conversations, but the last one cuts off sort of before I get into it. But that's okay, it wasn't that good anyway. The other ones are amazing. I have a lovely conversation with some vegans, and then I have 3 conversations where I think 4 people in those conversations went vegan, and one of them might have gone and done activism. Looking back, I wish I'd maybe held them to account a bit more and maybe made sure they did actually go vegan. But obviously I'm still happy with the day, and you know, we can all pick faults in our activism. But yeah, enjoy the video. Thanks for watching.
What do you think? What do you think?
I don't know what's it to do with.
So we're showing footage within animal agriculture.
Do what?
Within animal agriculture.
Oh, right.
So if you eat meat, eggs or dairy, this is what happens to the animals that end up on your plate. Because most people aren't really aware of where it comes from.
I am aware where it comes from, and I am a bit squeamish with it, so...
Yeah? Do you think if you're squeamish watching it...
Yeah, I don't eat an awful lot of meat.
Say again?
I don't really eat an awful lot.
Do you eat eggs and dairy?
I do eat dairy.
And you're aware that sort of dairy cows end up in slaughterhouses anyway?
I do, yes, and because I went to a dairy farm, I was quite shocked what happens to the male calves.
Yeah.
They tend to keep the females, but the males will get slaughtered, yeah.
Some might argue what happens to the females is worse, right? Because the males are killed early, and the women live a life of essentially torture. Which
I do agree with you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you eat it though?
A little bit, yes.
Do you think if you agree with me, maybe you should consider eating it? Or consider not eating it?
I will consider not eating it.
Thank you. What do you guys think? What's on the screen? What do you think?
Animal testing.
So this is what happens to the pigs that we eat. Most people aren't aware of how they're slaughtered, so we're showing footage.
I'm vegan. I don't eat meat or like.
You're vegan?
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm vegan too. Are your friends vegan?
I'm vegan.
Are you
vegan.
Are you, okay. I presume you're not vegan then. What do you think, guys? No? My thoughts? No? My thoughts? No? What do you think? No? What do you think? What do you think? Alright. What do you think, guys? No? What do you think? No? What do you think? No? What do you think? Who knows? What do you think, mate? No? Do you talk about it? Do you talk about it? No? Do you talk about it? You're vegan already? We are vegan. Congratulations. You local to Liverpool? Yeah. Have you considered activism?
I'm going tonight.
It's a lovely way to meet other vegans. There's like 20 of us here today, which is a crazy turnout. We're going to go to the, is it the Vine after this? The Vine Pub? I think it's a vegan place.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm from Leeds, so I have no idea.
Our daughter's in Leeds at the minute.
Say again?
Our daughter's in Leeds at the minute. She's still vegan.
Oh, yeah. Why, is she vegan?
She's veggie, but dips in and out of being vegan.
Would you like her to be vegan?
Absolutely, yeah.
Send her to Leeds one day, and I'll convert her for you.
No, she is there. Because we like, I mean, I was veggie since I was like 18, and then our second eldest, she became vegan, and she was like that in my ear. She knows how much she can influence me, so I hopped on board, and then you hopped on board, and then
I had a similar experience.
Yeah. Because it's funny, isn't it? You know, like you think you can't do. Like, I love cheese. You think you can't do without it.
Yeah. And then you see this, and you're like,
you know. Yeah. My mate works in the food industry. He's not vegan or anything like that. He's a normie. He works in the food and drink industry. He had to visit a supplier it's a horror story. Do you mind me telling you this?
No,
story?
I mean, look what
Because
you crack
I
on.
can't look at that. I can't look at it. But my mate was horrified. You know the male chicks in a
In a blender, yeah.
but the ones they have a big bin outside, and the ones that are still, there's a guy with spiked shoes and a pole in the bin. And he was mortified. Not enough to fucking change his life, like.
Well, I mean, yeah. Was he mortified then?
Well, let's say yeah, that's
But no, so I spend a lot of my time on the internet talking to lonely vegans, literally telling them if you want to make more vegan friends. You know, and I think to some extent all vegans are looking for some sort of community.
Yes.
And one of the cheats to get it is just to come to activism.
Yeah.
And even if all you do is hold TVs or you just show up and take pictures, you know.
That's more you than me, isn't it? A bit more Michelle than Chris.
Well, if you look around, there are some shy vegans too. You know, we're not all crazy like me.
Yeah. No, you're not. Definitely not.
What's your group?
So this is We the Free.
We the Free, yeah.
There's not currently a We the Free Liverpool, but there is discussions about setting them up. Like 10 of the people here from Liverpool. I'm from Leeds. There's a lot from Manchester.
Yeah.
A few from York. But the vast majority here are from Liverpool.
Yeah.
And if you're not into public outreach, guy over there, Paul, does hunt stabbing. So he goes out in the countryside following hunters and just trying to stop them actually hunting by annoying them.
The flipping hell is that about? It's like we're living in the 21st century. We should be going to holiday on the moon, shouldn't we? Eating our, fucking Cindy sandwiches or whatever. But you got people doing all that stuff. It's mind-blowing. Anyway.
Would you like a card?
Yeah, defo, yeah.
But yeah, I cannot recommend it enough as just a way to meet lovely people. And if you do actually get involved in the activism and do the activism, well, that's great. We do hiking events, we do loads of stuff. And it's important to have a community. So come join us.
Yeah, nice one. You're doing a great job.
Have a lovely day.
Job.
What do you think, sir?
Sure, really.
Sure? That's how I first felt when I watched footage like this.
Different.
Yeah. So we're just showing footage within animal agriculture.
Yeah, I can see.
So this is not the worst of the worst.
Right.
This is like RSPCA approved, Red Tractor approved.
Yes.
This is like the best of the best, basically.
Yeah, this is how they do it, isn't it? Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're actually seeing what goes on, aren't you? Yeah.
Do you think it's animal abuse?
I suppose I don't. If it's been as humane as we can and it has been consumed as food, then I think I can cope with it then.
Would you say the same if it was different creatures on the screens?
Well, that's it. It depends if they're being consumed as food, I think, really. It's less likely to be.
I could make the awful comparison of what if it was humans on the screens being consumed as food, you know?
Yes, I saw the...
Where do we draw the line?
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know you're probably right.
So I used to eat meat, eggs and dairy for 28 years. I used to love it. Love steak, love eggs, love everything. And I would tell people, yeah, I'd kill an animal to eat it because I love it. And then I saw this.
Change your mind.
And someone told me you don't need to eat this, you can just eat vegetables, you don't need to eat meat.
No.
And I realised that I didn't think this was right anymore.
Cool. Okay.
Do you ever think you'd change your mind?
Possibly. You never know.
What would stop you? What would stop you? Don't know.
Shocking, isn't it, when you see that?
Do you think we need to eat it? And do you think if we don't need to eat it, it's a good choice that we're making? Or do you think we could make a better choice?
better choices.
And do you think if we don't all stop consuming it as individuals, they're ever going to stop? So do you think if they're never going to stop unless we stop buying it, we have sort of a responsibility to stop buying it? And is that enough of an impetus on you to stop?
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Because you don't litter, right? You're not racist. You're not... all these other things that we've stopped doing. Like if we were 200 years ago, I'd be discussing with you whether or not we should have people on boats working in cotton fields right now. You know? And you might be saying, well, everyone else does that. You know? I give you a card. And there's a bunch of Brussels. There's way more of this awful footage. Right? But, you know, if you don't think this is right, which I don't think you do, then, you know, it's not an easy change to make for you. But if you're doing it for these creatures, then it's, you know, really easy to change. You know, if you sit down to have a meal and you think, I don't want anything to be dying or being tortured for my benefit, then it's really easy not to eat meat, eggs or dairy.
Okay.
Jessica,
Okay.
lovely to meet you.
Okay, bye.
Have a nice day.
We're going to have to go now. We're
Right then, let's go, shall we? What do you think?
What is it?
So we're showing footage within animal agriculture. So if you eat meat, eggs or dairy, this is what happens to the animals before their product arrives on your plate. Because most people aren't aware that this is what happens to the animals because it's sold as humane. And obviously part of the reason that people keep buying it is because they think it is humane. And this is not the worst of the worst, this is standard industry practice. So this is Red Tractor approved or RSPCA approved.
It's not what you're told, is it?
It's not. Does that make you rethink eating it?
I don't know, I do like a burger.
I used to eat meat, eggs and dairy for 28 years. And 4 years ago I saw this.
No, I've got a lot of farming friends and they wouldn't tell me that.
I've spoke to a lot of farmers who've never been in a slaughterhouse. So, you know, like to some extent, I'm not saying farmers don't love animals, but I'm not sure slaughterhouse workers love animals. You know? And a lot of animal abuse happens before they even arrive on the farm. So male chicks are blended alive at birth because they don't lay eggs. Male dairy cows are killed at birth because they don't create milk. There's a lot of death that happens before they even get to the farm.
You thinking?
Can I give you a card?
Yeah?
So, if you go on here, firstly there's a lot more of this awful footage, if you want to watch any more.
No, I
of
don't
it.
want to watch any more of it. I think I've seen enough.
But there's also, if you don't want to watch it, there's resources for going vegan. And I think if you don't enjoy the footage, maybe you should consider doing that. Because this will never stop unless we all stop buying it. You know?
Well, I think there's got to be a different way of doing it, isn't there?
Do you think a different way of doing it would help? If I said I was going to kill you, would you quibble about the way I did it, or would you just be like, please don't kill me?
We're meant to eat meat, aren't we? We're built to eat meat.
Yeah, but we were also built not to be in space, you know, and not to go to the moon,
I
and
don't
we
agree
did
with going
that.
to space either.
You don't agree with going to space. Do you think we need to do it, whether we were built for it or not? Because you could make the argument that men were made to be able to overpower women, right? And that's a fucked up argument. But you could say we were meant to be able to do that.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, there's a reason men are physically stronger, right? You could argue that that's the reason why.
I just don't think that's necessary. An animal getting shot.
Don't think this is necessary?
Oh no, that's not necessary at all. But
If you want to kill a cow, they're difficult creatures to kill, and this is how we kill them.
I just think they could be treated better before they got there. That's all. But
I think if you want them to be tracked better, you have to stop eating them while they're being tracked like this.
Yeah. Yeah, alright, you give me something to think about.
Thank you. Lovely meeting you. Have a nice day. What do you think, guys? What do you think?
Yeah, it's bad.
It is bad. It is bad. So if you buy meat, eggs, or dairy in this country, this is how they kill it.
You know, this is my drink. This is vegan.
Oh, is it?
I support you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And how's it taste?
Chocolate.
Does it taste good though?
Yeah. Same taste as not vegan.
So we don't need cow's milk, all right?
No, of course. But you know, his father has a farm.
Yeah, but you know, we all changed, right?
Yeah.
Someone's father used to own slaves, right? We stopped. What do you think? Do you want to talk about being starving?
I'm starving, mate.
Talk about it if you like. What do you think?
I don't know what it is.
It's animal agriculture. It's how cows and pigs and sheep are slaughtered. What do you think? Do you want to say it? Does that mean maybe we shouldn't buy it? You're not sure? Do you think we need to do this to animals? No? And if we don't need to, should we pay for it? No? Are you vegan? Why not?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
What do you think, guys? No? What do you think? 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 What do you think, guys? The guys. And what's on them? It's pigs in a slaughterhouse. It's sad, isn't it? Do you think we need to eat pork? Do you think we need to eat pork? Do you think we can eat pork yet? No, why not? I used to love it. Do you think it's worth it, all these panels? Okay. What do you think, sir? What do you think?
Yeah, it's. I mean, this is the world, man. I think.
Does it have to be the world?
Sorry?
Does it have to be the world?
Not necessarily, but it's hard to change. How to say things that have been like with us for like I don't know.
We changed slavery, right?
We changed that. Yeah.
If 200 years ago we were on the street and I was showing you a picture of black people
So
on boats, would you be like, it's too hard?
You're against like us eating any meat or any type of meat.
Well, anywhere you don't need to. Like I wouldn't go to like Siberia and tell someone who lived off yak milk not to drink yak, because that would be hypocritical, right? But if we're on the streets of Liverpool, it seems pretty hypocritical to do this to animals and then say, oh, this is awful, right?
Yeah.
You know, because every time you go to McDonald's, you pay for this, basically, right? Do you think this is animal abuse?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, yeah.
And if this was happening in the street to a dog, you would be like, whoa, stop.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right? But because it happens in, behind
you
closed
don't
doors.
see it. Actually, because you don't see it, it's like easier to manage, I would say.
Yeah. And because like we pay someone else to do it for us, we don't care as much, right? Like if you had to kill this pig, if you had to do this to a pig, you probably wouldn't eat bacon, right?
Yeah, I don't eat the bacon, so that's.
Insert chicken, right? Like if you.
But anyway, good initiative.
Yeah.
Good initiative.
So what's
Awareness
stopping you being vegan?
Sorry?
What's stopping you being vegan?
Being vegan.
Yeah.
I would say I try to eat as much vegetables and like greens as possible and like reduce the meat consumption. So I don't eat meat that much. I use chicken. I eat chicken mostly, and sometimes beef. But I'm trying to get it down. I don't know if my cousin went like full vegan and she had like some issues. I understood like if you're not doing it the right way, if you're not getting your nutrients and stuff like that, that might not be okay. But I think it's something that I might look in the future.
Okay.
But currently I'm like eating lightly and very light, sorry. And,
So when people say they're cutting down,
You know, I'm like,
Where usually the argument we do is we say, would you cut down in anything else? So like, would you cut down in being racist? Or would you cut down in littering? Or would you just stop?
yeah, you would stop, yeah. I get your point.
So like, people aren't really aware that like, they think, oh, to have a healthy diet, I need, meat, right? They say things like protein and all these other things, right? But like, broccoli has more protein per weight than chicken. So there's like loads of other ways to get the food that we need without doing this to chickens, right? Because this is chickens.
Yeah.
And do you know how many chickens are on the planet currently?
Nope.
So chickens make up 70% of the entire planet's bird mass by biomass. So there's 73 billion chickens.
Oh my god.
Right? It's a ridiculous number.
Yeah.
Right? And each of those chickens is a sentient creature. Whether or not they deserve equivalent sort of like recognition to a human, or like less, there's so many of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you wouldn't torture 73 billion puppies, would you? But we do it to chickens.
Yeah. Okay, man.
Do you think if I gave you resources that helped you go vegan for 22 days, you would consider doing it?
Yeah, I think yes.
Yeah, okay, amazing. So on here, there's a website called Challenge 22. And they will help you. They'll give you dietary advice, they'll give you shopping advice, they'll give you meal planning and shopping prep. There's also loads more of these awful videos if you forget why you're doing it. And there's a few other resources, but yeah, they say if you can do something for 22 days, the habit sticks.
Yeah. I know.
And it's, every time I sit down for a meal, my consideration is whether or not an animal is being tortured or murdered for me to eat the meal, and then taste is second, right? And then, diet and stuff is also second, right? But like, I think if you think about the animals when you sit down to eat, it's really easy, and there's a McDonald's down there that sells McPlant burgers now.
Yeah.
It's dead. Jessica.
Thanks. Christian.
Lovely to meet you. Have a lovely day.
You too.
And think about the animals.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
That's the electrified water.
No? What do you think? No? Sorry, guys. What do you think? Try with your final What do you think? Did you say it's cute? Did you say it's cute? What do you think, guys?
What's that thing? Oh, mate, honestly, let me tell you, fella, I love eating a steak,
So I would have said the same thing.
Yeah, honestly.
I ate meat, eggs and dairy for 28 years.
What's the colour for, mate?
Does it matter?
Well, it does matter.
Why does it matter?
I used to be a vegan for like 3 years.
Okay, what
It
changed?
wasn't good for me
Why?
because I was sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have it?
It also encourages eating disordered
Could you be sick on a
behaviour.
different diet as well, though?
No, because I'm getting iron all the time.
You can get iron from green leafy vegetables.
Yeah, but not enough, mate, because the human body is adapted to digest animal protein thousands of years.
Okay.
We've even eaten raw meat. You're not even supposed to cook meat properly. You do understand that?
You do realise the human body is also not designed to be in outer space, or fly aeroplanes, or live in cities.
Yeah, but the thing is that's a built thing. Right. A human
Do you think?
body,
Are you trying to say that we need to eat meat?
Plant-based is just processed.
Do we need to eat meat?
We do, in a sense. The body is designed to eat meat.
The people who exist on plant-based diets or vegan diets and are totally healthy, some of them Olympic athletes, are they just what are they? Are they?
What do you mean? Yeah, but if you look at them, you see that that's what they've adapted to. I don't see as to
So
why.
people don't adapt within their lifetime. That's not how it works.
Yeah, that is how it works.
It's not.
It is. This is the thing, though. People here, right? You shouldn't be pushing this and shoving this kind of thing to people because.
Why not?
People already know that it happens.
Okay. Well, they don't. They don't. That's not true.
That's not true. What people just.
People aren't. When's the last time you saw a fox get skinned alive?
Well, my dad's a butcher.
Okay.
Yeah, I've worked as a butcher for fucking, like, since I was about 10 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't see the issue I understand inhumane ways of killing an animal, which, electroshock, slitting its its throat when it's in a agitated
About
state.
blending chickens alive, is that inhumane?
Of course it is.
So that's the standard industry practice within the egg industry?
In the egg industry, yeah. But isn't that to get rid of runts?
No, it's to get rid of males.
Yeah, which are runts of the pack because
No, they're just males.
Yeah,
Because males don't lay eggs.
They don't lay eggs, but at the same time, they don't have any use.
Exactly, they don't have any use, so they're blended alive.
Exactly.
Is that humane?
The thing is, it's instant. It's an instant
But it
death.
doesn't matter. You said it wasn't humane, now you're saying it's instant?
Yeah, it's inhumane, but it's an instant death. This is the thing.
But the thing is, if we don't need to eat eggs, it doesn't matter if it's instant
Who
or
says
not.
that we don't need to eat eggs?
You just said we didn't need to eat eggs.
Did I say that?
Yeah,
No,
you
I
said.
didn't.
I said to you, what about all those people who've existed on a plant-based or vegan diet and have no health
I never
issues?
said we don't need to eat eggs. Yeah, exactly.
don't?
They do. Exactly.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. They can't. How are they supposed to get the vitamins?
You can get vitamins from plants.
No, they don't. They have to.
Wait, so you think you need to eat animals to get protein?
Yeah.
Okay, where does the cow get protein?
What?
Where does the cow get protein?
Yeah, but we need to eat meat to get protein because I work for the NHS, so I.
That's not how it works. It's rather ironic that you're complaining about how I look when you're with a girl who looks very similar. Young people. Thank you. Me too.
So you got smell.
It's fine. It's a bit of water.
I do love your new.
Some person on the train told me I look like Tank Girl. Yeah.
Whatever that is.
It's a comic from like the 80s.
Oh, okay. So you're doing a cosplay, not even knowing about you're doing a cosplay.
Apparently so, yeah, apparently so. I'll read the camera. Come here. Go on. Lick. Lick. No? What do you think, guys? Hey, give me some saves. What do you think? What do you think?
It's a bit fucked up. I am a conservationist myself, don't worry.
Oh, okay. Are you vegan? You're a conservationist, but you're not vegan.
So much depth to it. I know far too much about it. So I do agree that farming is not necessarily farming is not good, but there's nothing wrong with eating meat.
There's nothing with eating meat?
No.
Would you say that if I was currently about to eat you?
Well, you know what? It saves me from this fucking world we live in, so go for it.
Really? Is that an argument? Is that a serious argument that you pose?
Look, I can't guess I'm about to go to it, but there are many things that because in all honesty, I do...
Do you think we need to eat meat? Do you think it's a dietary requirement?
I think that we are evolving into... right now, I would like to go vegan, but the problem is we don't... The alternatives we have are not quite good enough for humans just yet on average.
That's not true.
I agree for the most part.
We can just eat vegetables. We don't need alternatives to meat.
My personal dietary requirements, I do need to...
What are your personal dietary requirements?
Well,
Are you celiac?
Yeah, celiac. I've got low.
So I know celiacs who are vegan.
I've got low iron.
Iron, you just eat green leafy vegetables.
And also just really.
Do you know the absorption rate of iron from meat is way lower than if you get it from vegetables? If you eat iron in plants.
I do eat myself a nice bit of lentils now. I am cutting down my meat, but right now it's mostly the fat requirement that I need.
Okay, but you can get fat from avocados. You can get fat from.
I'm a kitchen porter. I'm not a millionaire.
I mean, you can get them from Spain. The thing is, if you're a conservationist, right, and you want to save the environment, the best thing you can do is stop eating cows.
I mean, I don't really eat cows.
Or chickens.
It's mostly...
Or milk. Or eggs. The largest methane production in the UK is from the dairy industry. Do you drink milk?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you drink oat milk instead?
I'd rather drink full fat milk for the sake of I am being...
Well, if you're a conservationist and you want to save the environment...
fucking underweight.
Well, you know, there's other ways to get... You drink vegetable oil. Hello. Hello.
I just want to say, I absolutely adore your outfit, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, we were like, oh my gosh, it's
What do you think of my TVs?
Oh, I think they look pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's really the right message.
And it is good to try and get the word out,
Yeah.
really.
Are you too vegan?
I'm not vegan myself, admittedly. However, I do like believe I should like sort of move my like diet along. Really, I'd like adjust to try to eat more like plant-based alternatives and stuff like that. 'Cause, like,
Amazing.
Yeah.
I wasn't vegan by choice. I have diet issues, but I like it's saving the animals and stuff. So I like that part about it as well. And it's been I feel like after I've started eating vegan, I've been very happier with my life and all that. I feel like, that's the best way I can describe it, really. But yeah.
How difficult is it being vegan?
Not too difficult. I'll be honest, it's quite easy. I think the only issue is that it's the branded stuff is more expensive than like meat products.
Yeah.
But Aldi's actually, Aldi's and all that is very good. I was just saying to my friend Caleb,
just promoted it instantly to me.
Yeah, I was just like trying the Aldi cheese and like the sausage rolls and like the no chicken burgers are really good.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you want more resources? I can give you more resources.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So there's a lot more awful footage, but you don't need to see it, clearly. You might though.
Yeah.
You might need to see the awful
That's
footage.
completely fair.
So the thing I say is, the reason I'm vegan is because every time I sit down to eat a meal, my most important thing is whether or not an animal is being tortured or murdered.
Yeah.
Taste comes second. And you can get good tasty food, and you can get cheap food. You know, if you're just on a budget, lentils, chickpeas, there's loads of cheap things, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't want animals to be murdered or tortured, you have to eat vegan, because otherwise you pay for this.
Yeah. Like it is like trying to avoid funding the industry, really.
Yeah, because they're never going to stop unless we stop buying it.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is legal, and they get away with it.
Yeah, that's completely fair, honestly.
And we all have sort of, to some extent, a personal accountability to not fund things we disagree with, right?
Yeah, like you don't really want to be part of this sort of like system. Like, like when you know like how brutal it is, really, I don't really want to be part of it.
I know, because it's like you look at. I have a pet lizard at home, and every time I look at him, and it's like, why is having dogs and lizards and like birds as pets so different to eating? Like, it's not like, imagine sitting down and going to eat your own pet. That's how I see it. Because it's like what makes cows and pigs and sheep and chickens so different to our pets at home. You know, it's all animals should be treated equally.
It's because they're called livestock, right? We've been taught that they're food. You know, even at primary school, you were taught that this is a pig, it goes on a farm and you eat it. And this is a dog, it doesn't go on a farm and you play with it.
It's a good. This animal's a good thing. This animal eat it. That's basically how it is.
And to some extent, all we're doing here is trying to get people to realise that they've been socially conditioned to do the thing that they don't need to do anymore. Like, 300, 400 years ago, we needed to eat animals. Right now, on the streets of Liverpool,
there's alternatives.
Exactly.
There's literally like by Liverpool 1, there's literally like a vegan restaurant, and it's like there's not a lot of vegan restaurants, but there's still places you can go where you don't have to fund meat what's the word, companies and all that.
Like the industry.
The industry,
So you were vegan because of diet?
Yeah, I was vegan. I started just earlier this year. I started because I have complications with eating. I have a hard time eating red meat, but I just cancelled meat out altogether. And also because eating dairy and stuff, I'm lactose intolerant. So I was like, might as well just cut everything out.
Amazing.
Just cut everything out, and then I'll see how I go on the vegan thing. I've loved it. I think nothing has changed apart from the fact that sometimes I'm awkward at restaurants if I'm eating out with friends. Sometimes I'm the awkward friend where it's like, do you have any of these options? No, I'll just leave it then, and I'll get something else. But it's definitely worth being the awkward friend.
Would you say you're moving towards being an ethical vegan?
Maybe.
Do you want more vegan friends?
Yeah, go on.
So
I know a lot of vegan people, but not in my social circle.
yeah. So I constantly talk to vegans who are a bit lonely, and I say if you want to make vegan friends, come to activism, because like there's like 20 of us here today.
Really?
You know, and we're gonna go for a meal after this.
Oh, nice.
So it's it's a great way to meet other people.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, very nice.
I love your fishnets, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I love like the socks and everything. Like I think it's like really good.
Yeah, we were walking up.
I'm trying to be noticeable.
Yeah, we were walking up here and we were like, oh my god, the outfit.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like no one noticed me. She was like, no way.
I came all the way to Leeds, from Leeds.
Oh
so
wow. Yeah, I've been to Leeds. I've been to Leeds once, and I was to go to a gig. And safe to say, I did enjoy Leeds. It was actually very nice. Very nice.
Like I went to Leeds before. Like it was for an open day for university. I thought it was like it was really good. Honestly, like I can't complain about it. It's a really good place.
But yeah, so stop eating animals. What do you guys think? What do you think? It is awful. Do you think it's animal abuse? Do you think if you think this is animal abuse, you can sort of think that and have those opinions, but also buy products of it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you currently buy?
So the thing is, because I've always been like a heavy meat eater, but I've reduced like gradually. But then I've never seen things like this to actually instigate me to go further and reduce it even more.
So I was a huge meat eater.
Yeah.
For 28 years. I loved steak. I loved all this.
Yeah.
You know, I would go to restaurants and I'd just buy slabs of animals and eat them. And then someone showed me this and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I stopped because like this is not worth the taste that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But it's awful because everybody else around you still does it. So, do you know what I mean? And like, you obviously don't anymore, but isn't it awful thinking that everyone else still does and they still exist anyway?
Well, I mean, that's why I'm here, right?
Yeah.
Like, I literally need to be dragged into veganism and stapled to the floor.
Yeah.
So it would be really hypocritical of me to, like, cast aspersions on other people who are, like, struggling, right? Because, like, I struggled.
Yeah.
And that's why we do activism. Because everyone here, at one point, probably ate meat, eggs, or dairy.
Yeah.
And, you know, we needed someone to help us.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, there's nothing wrong with not knowing.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't know, like, it's fine, right? But once you know, like, then it's, you know, then you have this sort of moral responsibility. You know, if you say to me, I disagree with this, I have to say to you, well, are you going to keep eating it, you know?
Yeah. It's awful. It's really awful.
But I think, you know, when we say like, oh, we're going to do less of it, or when we're going to, you know, other people are still going to do it, right?
Yeah.
You could make those same arguments about like racism or sexism or homophobia or littering, right? But you don't litter, you're not racist, you're not homophobic, right?
Yeah.
Because you know, even though everyone else is still doing it,
You don't have to. But
you're accountable for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Very good point.
That's a very.
It is a good point. I do this a lot. I do this a lot.
It's awful. It's disgusting. We're awful.
Can I give you some resources?
Yeah, sure.
So, when I sit down to eat a meal, I'm really bad at this apparently. I'm really good at the activism, really bad at opening things. When I sit down to eat a meal, the most important thing for me is whether or not an animal is being murdered or abused, right? And then it's really easy, right? Because I don't have to worry about, oh, it's harder to get food, because I don't want to eat food where an animal's been abused or killed or, you know, raped or tortured, right?
Yeah.
I only want to eat food where I know that, you know, this is not happening.
Yeah.
And if you live like that and you think like that, it's really easy to be vegan.
Yeah.
You know, you can go to McDonald's and you can buy a McPlank burger, you know.
Yeah.
Greg's has vegan options. Like, it's so easy to be a vegan now.
Yeah.
If you have Netflix, there's wonderful documentaries. There's so many ways to sort of give yourself that push if you need it.
Yeah.
And worst
I
case,
watched the salmon one, the sea one.
Yeah?
The one about the fish. That was
the Seaspiracy?
Seaspiracy.
Yeah, that was really good.
And Cowspiracy is next on the list.
Well, if you want to build yourself up, Game Changers. Because that's all about the positivity of eating plants.
Where the people who are athletes and sports and stuff like that, and they went vegan. We watched it.
Yeah.
We did watch it.
Yeah. And that's part of why we started doing
we do
a bit
eat
more
less, but we don't
plant-based
completely,
stuff.
to be honest.
Yeah. We still do, but it's like much less. So like typically before we used to have every meal you have a meat, and now we can maybe 2-3 days a week. Tops. Yeah.
So if you were this animal, if you were this chicken in here, waiting to die, and and I was talking on your behalf, would you want me to get someone to eat less?
Yeah.
Or would you want me to get them to just stop?
Yeah. Just stop.
You know?
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't litter less. You wouldn't be racist less.
Yeah.
Right, and if you do go vegan, you want to make some fucking vegan friends, come to Actors. Because there's like 20 of us here today, and we're going to go to a restaurant afterwards, and we're all wonderful people. And we all care about animals.
Yeah.
You know, and you can be one of us. And the world is changing.
Yeah.
You know, 200 years ago, they had people on boats working in cotton fields. You know? We got rid of that to some extent. It's now under the radar. But, you know, the world does change. It just takes individuals, you know.
Yeah, one step. Yeah, just to make that step and then change the next person. Okay. Thank you very much.
Jessica.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Hannah.
Yeah. Ian.
Yes. Lovely to meet you both.
Lovely meeting you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Oh, enjoy your whatever you eat tonight. I hope it's vegan.
Yes. Definitely.
Thank you. Boop. Two vegans. You think so? Hard to think. I know, I've seen 3 vegans already. They were already basically on the fence, and I pushed them over. Yeah. You see, game changing. Yeah. Literally. Thank you, moving on. You think so? No? What do you think, sir?
Hey?
What do you think?
It's bad, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, yeah, it is bad what we do to animals.
Yeah.
Do you think we need to do this?
Not really, no.
Do you think it's abuse?
It's disgusting, yeah.
Do you think if you think it's abuse...
Should do something about it?
Yeah, exactly,
That's what you're gonna say. Yeah.
So this is a cow being humanely slaughtered. So this is a bolt gun and they're going to shoot him or her in the head. But often it won't work the first time.
Yeah.
So they'll do it a couple of times.
Yeah.
But this will be called humane. Right. And if we don't need to do this to cows, then we're choosing to do this to cows, right?
He doesn't like watching it. Yeah, I know, yeah.
Can I give you a card, sir?
Yeah, give me a card,
So if you don't agree with this, you know, I'd say to you, go vegan. Right, and there's resources on there to help you.
Yeah.
And there's more of this awful footage if you want to watch it at home.
Yeah.
Right, and it's never been easier to go vegan. Yeah, and like...
Okay. I'll look into that.
Thank you. Have a nice day. What do you think, sir?
I can't see properly.
Okay.
I've got cataract, you said. I can't. My mate said something to do with chickens.
Yeah, so we're showing people what happens within animal agriculture.
Ah, right.
So if you eat meat, eggs, dairy, fish, then we're showing basically what happens to the animals.
We all know what happens to the poor animals.
But it's different seeing it, right?
Oh, no, I don't like even look at us as honest.
Exactly.
I don't like even human beings. Anyone getting their heads chopped off.
But if we can't watch it, right?
I can't watch it.
And we don't need to do it.
Don't need to do it, I know.
Then why do we pay for it?
Well, you are right. What can one do? I'm coming to the end of mine.
Go vegan.
I'm coming to the end of mine.
You
so
are.
I'm not really bothered, you know what I mean?
Well, they're bothered though, right? Would you say that if I was talking to, let's say I was talking to an elderly gentleman 200 years ago,
right,
and he said to me, well, I'm too old to really care about ending slavery, so I'm just going to carry on.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't, it's not that I don't care, I do, but there's not a lot I can do.
You can do you though, you can be accountable for your actions.
I am accountable for mine. I'm 80 years of age, mate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I am well accountable for I'm a Catholic as well, and I don't like to see anything being murdered. That's the way I am. But you think to yourself, well, we know there's groups out there, like yourselves, who go around showing people what goes on in life. What are you doing?
So I don't eat meat, eggs or dairy.
That's what you don't.
I'm vegan.
You're vegan.
And the reason I'm vegan is because someone on the street showed me this footage and said you should stop eating it if you don't agree with this.
Right.
So I did.
So what difference are you making then?
So I don't...
It still goes on.
No, it does, right? But you could say the same about littering, right?
Well,
if I said to you there's always going to be litter, so you might as well litter.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Yeah? If I said to you someone out there is going to be beating their wife, so you might as well beat your wife.
That's true.
These are silly arguments, right?
Well, yeah, silly arguments, yeah.
Exactly, right?
I understand. I mean, look